Hello, everybody. I'm HitPray and joined by Jamada Leg as we're getting ready to break down our final game. Apologies about the delay. Unfortunately, we had a player who didn't turn up in time, but fans will be taken away. They will pay the price for that as Jamada drinks something that will probably be his demise tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll get into game and then we can talk about that. It's going to be Lucent versus Guarp. We were talking about before the break, the win conditions. Well, not the win conditions, but like the conditions for Guarp right now. They need to win this game. They need Rate to win their next game, and then potentially they can make it to playoffs. You can talk now, Jamada.
I'm so okay. Look, I'm gonna lay it down.
Go
Just bluntly, nice ear. Um,
Yeah,
I,
this is my
that's-
headphones are broken.
I don't like teams losing bans. I actually think it's more of a detriment to the opposite
The other
team.
side as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually saw a pretty big case study of this in that one particular T1 series last year, which had a whole bunch of you know Reddit threads made about it and such. Anyway, the situation was as follows: Lucent were struggling to field a 4 roster of 5. Fortunately, they just about made it in time, but as you can see, they are going to miss out on 2 out of 3 of their first bans.
Yeah.
We'll see how this impacts the draft because Lucent are on red side, which, whilst personally, I've definitely had I've had a lot of conversations on what team, what side is stronger. I would certainly argue red side is, in my head, starting to lean towards the stronger side. Lucent are on red side. They might be okay with this in a very weird dystopian kind of manner. We'll see how exactly the situation unfolds here for Guarp in particular. Of course, plenty of weird niche pocket picks. Yeah, it's a frustrating situation for everybody, of course, but we'll see how things follow in the draft. Now, as time is ticking, a Lucent just okay. I was gonna say don't ban all 3. They banned Anar eventually.
Alrighty, well, let's see what the final pick, well, the first pickup is going to be. It looks like with a Seraphine, but it's typically a red side ban, is looking to get picked up here by Guarp. Is obviously flexible between the bot and the mid lane if they decide to go for it. They are going to go for it on that front. And now I have to see what the answer is going to be here from Lucent. The Silas ban probably kind of gave away the fact that it was going to be a Silas, a Seraphine or a Nar.
Zeri Yumi, both up, both available. You and Lil Pants play both of those champions.
Yeah,
fact, I'd argue pretty well. Lucent could very easily stab that if they wanted to, but Dandom is in this lobby, and Dandom wants Poppy, and Poppy is also the strongest jungler on the patch at the moment, considered by many. And Dandom, as we all know, is very much the connoisseur of this Poppy. So maybe just ahead of the curve, apparently. As yeah, Sivir, other strong champion that we've had a lot of conversations about. We'll see how frequently she starts to get early rotated. Of course, this is just a hover for now, but it seems like it will get locked in. So very fun, very cool. Let's see what exactly Duncan Messi and Fred Spaghetti will have in answer to it.
All right, well, yes, that is going to be the big question. We have seen Gragas actually picked up with this Seraphine a couple of times, but maybe thinking about a couple of different things and options. I did mention this earlier as well. The Wukong that is being hovered right now has kind of weirdly fallen out of priority going into 12-13. So they decide to go, you're right, HitPray, actually. We don't want the monkey. We want the pike. A pike, a pick. Well, tongue twister there. Pike, a pick that has been seeing a lot of attention recently. I pick a pike, a picks. And they're going to go for the Gragas as well. So a lot of displacement, a lot of CC on this team. And those executes could come in really nice here. But does Poppy W stop Piker or not? No, I genuinely have never seen that. These two on the same against each other, actually.
Doesn't happen. I know it because the Pike R is coded as a teleport if he lands and connects to the target, so it's not.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can stop the Phantom Undertow. That's very natural.
Yeah.
But moving away from that, Lucent are just going to go towards the Braum. Definitely a very interesting time to take it. I think many would consider Pike a pretty good matchup into the Braum 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Talking about the laning phase. So Interesting to see that one come through. Lucent, though, let's see what they would like to ban. Because right now, if I'm looking at the Guarp composition, I don't know what I'm banning, to be honest with you, because all 3 of those picks go into all 5 positions. So they just need to ban stuff that they feel like they're going to not want to play against their composition. And right now, Yone coming in, maybe eyeing up an Azir pick on R4, perhaps, is maybe my best guess for now.
I think Azir is probably a fairly solid ban on that side, but it also could be a good ban from Guarp as well. If they don't want to add, even more scaling, you got the Sivir and the Azir would be really, really horrific to fight into in team fight situations. I think the big thing as well is maybe looking towards someone who can start fights, engages, because right now I think that's probably the biggest weakness that Lucent is running. Is this is kind of what we saw from the Sivir earlier on in the day. Is you can press that R button and speed the Poppy up into the enemy team, but you're not really lacking in like full hard commit engage. You've got the Braum, so you could pick up something like an Ornn as well, because you don't have to worry about getting countered away. That does give you that fairly solid long range engage. You can then follow up with the Sivir speed ups. But we'll have to see, I guess, what they're going to look to pick up here. And the final ban coming in from Guarp as they are running the timer down, thinking about what they want to take away, is going to be the Olaf. I mean, Olaf sped up by Sivir is horrifying because there's nothing you can do. He will just run into you. And now over to Lucent to try and find an answer to the next side of this.
Yeah, you know what? Urgot would be a pretty interesting black here into Vigor Mopson's champion pool, to be honest. But not sure whether or not they're really willing to do that. Of course, general rule of thumb is don't talk about hovers. They're not typically what get locked in. Kurosh will go towards that rise. So playing for sides, apparently, is the name of the game. They're going to give DBL counterpick into Vigor Mopson. And we'll see how they up functioning, because it feels like it's very rare that we've seen Lucent play off of DBL as a carry. It feels like typically they put all of their eggs into the Fuyu basket or into the Kurosh basket as well. Did have an Irelia game last time around, but that is a Kha'Zix lock-in, and that is also a Darius lock-in. So I'm just gonna say it. I think Lucent have lost this game. I think Guarp literally just have the power of like comfort and friendship on their side, and there is no additional analysis I'm going to bring to it. I think it is just as simple as that.
Is it Gragas mid or is it Seraphine mid?
Probably Gragas. It would be pretty funny if it was.
You could do like Gragas Pike, right? That'd be really, really obnoxious.
Gragas Pike would be pretty obnoxious, but I think because they're dealing with Braum Sivir, it's one of the worst.
Could it be Pike mid as well and Gragas support?
Yeah.
There's actually loads of flexibility here.
Yeah.
The monkey picked up,
by
the way.
One thing I will do is I'll draw a comparison to the composition earlier from Unique, where they basically had 4 midi champions and a Seraphine, because that is exactly what is going on here. I'm kind of worried because the graphic isn't swapping and Kha'Zix seems to be not moving from Duncan Messi's hand. Are they?
They're not doing this, are they?
Are they? Their player.
That's past 20 seconds.
Oh, their player swapping. Interesting.
What do you make of that then?
Was at some point jungling on this roster, so I mean it's not out of the rule set. There's nothing that says that a player has to play a specific role. It's not Overwatch. Yeah, like wow. Okay. Look,
what are you making of that?
I like to pride myself on my ability to break down even the weirdest of shenanigans.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna
attempt it. That's fair. Okay, so what is Lucent trying to do then? Let's talk about them.
Very stock standard to me, right? Aggressive early game jungler, a top laner they can go to play towards if they so like. Hyper scaling AD carry, mid laner that should be able to get priority and roam to sides. It's bread and butter League of Legends. Fantastic from them. They get to scale. I think they have the disengage tools and some follow-up and engage tools to actually try and chase down some of the Guarp members. But I think if we're just talking about like the utility value at base for Guarp, there's a lot of mobility, there's a lot of slipperiness, and there's just overall a lot of very frustrating tools to play around with that Lucent are going to have a relatively hard time at dealing with, because it feels like, to me, only really Poppy with the steadfast presence can kind of shut down like the Kha'Zix, Gragas, and Poppy and the Pike.
Yeah.
And she can only press W for 2 seconds. Like that's just how the ability works. So really gonna have to be on point of that. I think aside from that, good luck Lucent, because this seems to me like plain and simple, Guarp are just in Zen mode right now. They are above us as mere mortals, and there's nothing more I can really add other than hopefully we're getting into game.
Hopefully we are getting into game, and there are no lags, there are no pauses. We've had too many pauses, too many delays today. I'm losing my mind. This is gonna be one hell of a game. I think, you know, sometimes stock standard is enough, but sometimes pulling out this crazy stuff is also enough. Remember, Guarp need to win both their games if they want any hope of making it into the playoffs. So a really, really important game for them here versus Lucent.
All right. Reed, you know what to do. Swap them around. So Pike is support. Okay. So Pike is support.
He's
Let's
just...
forget is an AD slot. And yeah, okay, perfect. Have we? All right, Jake. We've cast a lot of League of Legends together over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Have we seen a comp as weird as this?
I think this might be one of the weirdest comps I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I mean, mainly just because of that second. I mean, I've definitely seen, like, you know, full Yasuo comps, but I guess in a way that's kind of normal. If you go, I mean, like, you know, you don't see it regularly, but like it's a comp that makes sense. I'm struggling to see the sense in this comp. Now, team fight scenario, yes, you have Gragas that can buy a lot of space and bring a lot of damage in CC. The Seraphine also brings a hell load, like an absolutely massive amount of CC. And then I guess you got the Kha'Zix to assassinate, and you got, like, you know, 2 assassins. I mean, this is like a TFT comp, right? Like, you got your bruisers.
Okay.
So they give you a bit of health. You got 2 assassins.
Got, like, if Gragas had that knight skin, you know, that's your knight buff right there. 100 armor on Gragas and on Darius, right? What cost would Gragas be if he was a knight? What do you reckon?
Oh, knight's an old one though.
Yeah.
Gragas probably. Wait, what ability are you giving him?
I think he would probably get W.
Okay, so that's a 1 cost.
I think he'd be a 1 cost or like a 2 cost, maybe.
I feel like 1 cost is W, 2 cost is E, and then like 4 or 5 cost is Cask, like his explosion. Yeah, I think that's what he is.
Yeah.
Pike is depending on his ability, because he's a 2 cost if he's got his E, a 5 cost if he's got his R. Have you played much of the new TFT set?
No, I haven't really.
It's horrendous.
Okay, good to know. Did Pike ever exist in a set where he had his Q?
Not that I'm aware of. I think like Fresh and Blitz are the only 2 like hook champions we've had.
Yeah, because when Norlis was in the game, he had Depth Charge, right? So
yeah, Depth Charge. He's had his W as well.
Yeah.
In a different set, but he's never had his ult. He's never had his Q. I can't remember what. I think we had Cyclone on Wukong at one point.
Yeah.
I think. There's Dandem. Gonna lose this fight pretty heavily versus Drunken Messi here. Drunken Messi just needs to kind of get in one more time to be able to get the slow off, but he's not going to be able to find it. Vigor Mopson's coming in, gets the apprehend off. Kurosh is going very, very low, but not low enough. Vigo able to get away with the ghost underneath his tower to safety, and in comes Nugget now to potentially save the day. The cast comes down, Galen flashes the wall, the hook comes in, Vigo comes back around with a heal, and Guarp find 2 kills.
Guarp are making it to playoffs. I'm telling you right now, I could see it. The clairvoyance I have in my brain is so ridiculously clear. What? As soon as I saw this skirmish unfold, I knew that this was gonna happen. Like,
oh no, Kurosh.
He
just about avoids. He needs to land the hook.
Still dead.
He's going low. The red buff is on Galen. Galen just needs 1 more Q, but he's going too low to Dandem.
Still play it.
It can definitely, but Galen has used his teleport, sure, but he's got red buff, he's got his passive, so he's actually gonna be okay. Look at his health bar, it's recovering incredibly fast. And Nugget could also, you know, proc a couple of those things onto him just to be able to heal him up with the I can't remember the support item's name. Brain no work. Thank you, shoulder guards. The shoulder guards.
God, I'm gonna have fun walking home today.
Why?
It's gonna be like 11:30 by the time I even get out the studio.
Do you know the last time I was in Spandau?
Yeah.
It was 10 o'clock in the morning. Me and Archer go for breakfast, and there is a guy wearing no trousers rummaging for a bin. Like, just have fun on that walk home, by the way, because that was pretty close to Archer's house.
Thanks, dude. Hey, no, I'll be on the lookout for him. I'll I'll make a call out if I see him. Ask him if he remembers a fella called Hip Ray.
I didn't introduce myself.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
He had no trousers on.
Okay. Are we
in the middle of the street?
Are we discriminating, Jake?
This isn't discrimination. This is just I'm not gonna introduce myself to a gentleman who is wearing no trousers and rummaging through bins. I think he was doing his thing. I was doing my thing. There's no point us getting into a conversation. Also, I can't speak German. I'm not sure if he was going to be able to speak English. So it was probably easier than trying to have that conversation in the middle of the street, you know?
Okay.
We had Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast that day, though. They were very good.
Oh, yeah. That's right at Spandau.
Station, yeah. I had a really good drink there, actually. It's like this fruit drink. Like, it's really good.
Oh, is it like the tea?
No, it wasn't a tea. It was more like a smoothie, but it had like a... Yeah, it was a smoothie, but it had like whipped cream on the top. Unbelievable. I mean, like, it was the sweetest thing I've ever eaten. And I'm pretty sure it was incredibly unhealthy, but it was very tasty. Very tasty.
That is
true. Our producer did just say I'm talking to a guy who's been to America, so yeah.
Recently,
I mean, buckets of Coke and stuff.
To be fair,
it's refillable though, isn't it? That's like a real standard thing in America, is like refillable drinks. Yeah. In Europe and like anywhere else, refillable drinks.
Oh yeah, dude! Like
not that common.
It cost you extra. Like, yeah, like when I was eating at a diner. By the way, it looks like there's gonna be a skirmish in the river. Actually, you know, like we are focused on the game, guys. I know we're hardly reading, but at this point, you have to understand from our perspective. For
had a 20-minute break.
We had a 20-minute break. The last 2 games have been relatively long. It's a late night, and honestly, I'm looking at this game and I'm saying, Guarp have like mental edge, mental Nirvana draft. And once we start to see some action, I promise you we'll take it seriously, but just give us a little bit of time to unwind. I promise you we'll give you the cost of our lives. Maybe cost of our lives.
I'll make any promises on that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a solid shot.
But yeah, like I would go out to breakfast in the morning with my girlfriend, and it would just be like if I'm having a coffee or she's having a tea or whatever. It's just like, oh, you're done. Here's more. The way it would just pour more in every single time we were finished. It's just infinite refills. It is just the standard as Duncan Messi have to jump out there, and Lucent should be able to burst this one down pretty quickly.
And Spaghetti does have the ultimate, though. This could get really hairy. They get the keeper's verdict off. It goes a little bit wide. Fred Spaghetti, that's the spell shield down. Once that wears out, he can throw the encore, but he's actually quite low on mana right now. They're looking to try and get a little bit more kill through you. Unbelievably low. Fred Spaghetti waiting for the opportunity to get the beat drop down. That's going to be a kill for Nugget just like that. The encore is being held, and they're not firing that trigger at all. Little Pants is now on his lonesome, and Nugget gets the hook. Finds the kill for Fred Spaghetti as well, and that is an easy as you like kill. Guarp are just absolutely slamming this early fight.
They picked Lucent apart, member by member. First they find Kurosh, even though Duncan Messi is forced out of the back of the pit. Doesn't really matter. The fact that Guarp are able to win this fight without even having to commit the encore because they just didn't even have the mana to cast it, I think speaks volumes to how strong they are in this early game. They have the kind of composition to skirmish toe-to-toe with many strange compositions. This is what I was talking about. It's just about the utility inside of a lot of these champions, which is just very hard to stand up to. Lucent split apart. They try to go towards Fred Spaghetti. Then the turn is immediately towards Galen, but he can't be chain CC'd. And from here, it's just an easy rundown because nobody on Guarp is low enough to go down.
Really, really nice stuff. They actually held it to make sure Fred Spaghetti did find the kill. As Viggo mops in now, pop the ghost, but he's into the wall. Lucent find their first kill of the game.
Right, not too bad. They at the very least find a pick somewhere. And starting to run around as a bit of a death squad here. I think they've got the memo on what Guarp are looking to do. 3-man on the Herald. The problem is, look at the mid lane. Galen about to have his ultimate back up, and you can already see the collapse is here.
Yeah, they're chasing in, actually, onto this Rift Herald. Half health right now, but Guarp, they don't want to give this up easy at all. Nugget doesn't have the ultimate, though, but he is getting fairly close to that level 6 mark, and there it is. The steal comes in from Drunken Messi. Lucent will gatekeep the Herald to make sure no one can get it, although Drunken Messi actually going invisible. He's on a stealth mission to pick it up.
Ooh.
Doesn't have that adaptive camouflage, but it's about to time out. He needs to be quick. He doesn't realize that they've left it. It's there. He can get it if he gets closer. Drunken Messi gets out. What are you doing? It's only a blue.
Just check, man. Just check.
Oh, I'm so angry. I've never been this angry in my life.
Oh my god. Oh, I just want to go home. Ah! Oh, okay. No, wait, it's the replay of that!
I'm not looking. He turns around as a blue. This too.
Oh my god.
I'm so disappointed.
Oh, Christ. Oh, okay. Deep breath.
Don't worry. Uncle will make things better for you.
Oh, I bloody well hope he will. You know, actually, I noticed.
We should probably clear up who Uncle is, because I don't think that's out of context.
That's a bit of an inside. That's a bit of an inside joke. Yeah. So, Uncle is the kebab shop owner of the kebab shop that I go to basically after every studio broadcast. And the reason why he's called Uncle is simply, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. He acts a lot like an uncle. As a mid lane, by the way, Kurosh is dead.
Oh,
but in Caribbean and African culture, and I think a lot of other cultures too, it's not uncommon at all. We will commonly call people who are just like friends to us, but like are pretty friendly, generally speaking, uncle. It's just the thing, or like, you know, Arnie or whatever. We could not even know them entirely, right? We could just meet them on a bus or like on the way to a shop or whatever, and it's just like, it's just the prefix you give them.
yeah.
Anyway, that was pretty
back
good.
Into the action.
Yeah.
Galen has gone invis here. Nugget has the death from below, and these are 2 easy kills. X marks the spot. Nugget finds the kill, and he has a reset, so there is a window here where they could get even more as DBL gets himself a kill as Hook comes in from Nugget. Low HP. Nugget not going to go for a little bit more. He can't get him low enough to find the execute. DBL didn't see what happened up there, but that got messy as Galen almost gets himself taken down in the meanwhile. It will be okay. Let's have a replay atop.
Yeah, okay. Let's get a look-see here of what exactly unfolded, shall we? So, DBL goes in. The Mopson, fair amount of health to work with, but as you can see, DBL just has the little more trading power to work with. But, yeah, very close to being, I suppose, at least a 1-for-1. But, unfortunately, for Guarp, just doesn't have damage in him just yet. And that's just kind of the power of the Stone Skin. The passive of Wukong getting all of that additional armor over the course of a team fight or a skirmish in general. Just nullifies a lot of that stacking damage that Darius provides.
Yes, absolutely. And got himself a level lead now over Vigo as Guarp is kind of death falling a little bit. They're using this pike as you kind of would expect. Seraphim's very safe in lane. So now that Nugget's level 6, it's very easy just to death ball around with him. And I mean, he's been roaming all game. And what this actually has ended up meaning is, you know, while there's a level lead in the top side for Lucent, there's a level lead in the bot side for Fred Spaghetti over Fuyu. He's got himself, you know, the same amount as farm as his opponent. He's quite happily sitting and just catching waves. And, you know, he'll turn up for the team fights and still be incredibly effective because he's safe. He's able to clear waves. And Galen may just look for the solo kill onto Kurosh here. Kurosh is popped.
Bomber.
Oh, we're broken.
Oh, we are. We really
We are
like,
broken.
I haven't been broken by a game in a little while. You know, I'm really impressed with myself. I think the last time I broke was like spring playoffs. The last one I cast. That was like the last time I could recall being broken. This is setting a pretty good record here. Galen could be in trouble,
Nope.
but never mind. Skull flash. Now
Dandem though, Dandem could be in trouble. Takes a whole lot of damage. In comes the hook.
He's alright.
Lands onto the clone. Wrong one. Nobody goes down.
What are you having for dinner tonight, Jake? If anything's even open.
Nothing's open, so I've got to hope there's something in the cupboard. I like.
Is it like a carbonara angle? Like.
But like, there's like when I say there's nothing, like, if I'm having pasta, I'm having pasta and bacon. That is the limits of what's in my. Like, I don't like at the moment. I might just be eating bacon, like, because there's nothing in the house.
Do you not keep like, I don't know, super noodles on deck or something, just in case?
No, you see, I used to do stuff like that, but then I just end up eating them and be really unhealthy. So now I just stopped doing that because it's like I'll be like, oh, I'll just eat the super noodles for lunch instead. I should start doing it again, but pain, you know.
Yeah.
I've got regular noodles, but like I don't know if bacon noodles is gonna be a good dish. It might be.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. Yeah.
I mean, that might actually be the doable play.
When you have noodles, like, do you have like plain noodles or like?
Soy sauce and stuff.
That's a great. Our producer raises a great point. Is there anything that isn't really like added value by putting bacon in it? Like.
Yeah, funeral.
What?
I mean, a funeral is a bad affair. I don't think bacon's going to improve it.
I would argue, actually, like. Oh my god.
Big team fight, by the way. Dandem gonna get himself taken out. The depth from below is gonna hit, and Dandem down. And this time,
that was the ignite. That wasn't even his ult, so he didn't unfortunately get the reset there.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, this time, hopefully, Drunken Bessie picks up the crab, or I will leave. I will hang up this call and go eat my bacon noodles.
Mate, I promise you, if you leave, I'm going home too. Like this is
genuinely a silent stream.
This is Reed spectating the game to like.
It's gonna be Reed doing the interviews.
Oh my god.
We are broken men. We are broken men.
God, I've missed these kind of casts. You know, like, do you remember that one game between Enclave and Demise, where Rifty, and actually I don't think I was casting. I think I was casting with Viper, but it was Darius, Rifty on Darius, and then Only Angel on Gragas, and.
I think that might have been me.
Was that you?
I think that might have been.
Was it you? Because that, like, this game is for some reason giving.
Wasn't Only Angel like feeding his face off, if I remember?
Well, feeding is subjective because he wasn't exactly dying, but you know, like, there's only so much trolling you can do before it feels like it's intentional. You know, like. You can only get away with like one, oh, oopsie, I smited your blue buff as the jungler, even though you were right there to take it, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lost. I'm genuinely not like. The thing is, this is such an important game for Guarp to win. By the way, like.
Yeah.
Let's not take it away from Guarp right now. Winning this game sets them up for tomorrow to potentially make what I would consider one of the most miraculous recoveries I think I've seen from a team.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like this
Their tail end to this season has been amazing. They've been super good like on the second half of the split.
Yeah, like this was. We're talking about Guarp, who were what? 3-6 in the first round robin. So making it to 9-9 would obviously, it's simple maths, means they had a 6-3 second half of the split.
That's some quick maths.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know, they've only really lost to relatively heavy hitters, if memory serves me right. Like,
I mean, they originally they only beat heavy hitters.
yeah, like, or to be fair, I mean, they lost the light side. Oh no, they beat light side both times. Take that back.
Yeah, they beaten natives. I can't remember if they beat them once or twice.
They lost to Rising Dawn and Domino in the second round robin. And then who else did they also drop a game to? Munster. So it's like teams who are all fighting for playoffs. These are the only teams that they really dropped games to in the second half.
Yeah.
So a super impressive second half of the split. No doubt about it. And right now, they're set comfortable. 3 dragons. It's only a Cloud, but I would argue Cloud is unironically pretty okay for a lot of their skirmishes here. Karzik is going to love it for gap closing. Darius, if he's able to get resets, like, it's like Ghost on steroids, right? Not too shabby at all. Nugget as well, I'd argue too. Movement speed to get in range for R. Could be good, could be good. And again, for Lucent, nothing on the line for them this game. And I won't say that they're playing like it, but it just feels like Guarp are playing with a little more purpose.
Yes, I think, you know, something's obviously ignited something under Guarp going into this second half of the split. And they've obviously, you know, worked on a lot of their issues, and they are looking like a top contender. And, you know, had they been playing like this whole season long, you know, they probably wouldn't be in this situation where they have to win 2 games and rely on another team to win. They probably could have just quite comfortably been in the playoffs race. And, you know, who knows? Maybe even higher. Maybe they could have been top 3. It's hard to say. But they, you know, there's a lot of things they need to get right now going forward. As Kurosh just flashed away from Vigo Mopsen. Well, Vigo still has flash and Ghost, so Kurosh does need to be a little careful on that front because he could just get run down. Yeah, I forgot Poppy could do that.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, I forgot Poppy does that.
Yet. Yeah. That's a pretty big deal because now the Herald charge could actually just be stopped entirely. Good job, Dantom.
Man, Drunken Messi just basically hasn't picked up 2 Heralds.
Yeah.
That's genuinely the way this has gone, unfortunately. It feels like this game has had, you know, the brakes put on a little bit. We had quite a lot of action early, but definitely slowing down somewhat as Dandom finds himself hooked, but finds himself on the blast cone on its way out as Nugget able to heal back up thanks to the grey health. Will be able to get away from all of this action as Lucent needs to be careful clustered in the in like tight corners and tight corridors like that, because a big ultimate from Fred Spaghetti is going to just end them. He's going to get big slows down as well because he's got that Crystal Scepter, the burn from the Leandries, and Whopper testing the waters, although I believe Galen just kind of gave away that they were doing the Baron because he killed the ward, and now Dandom tries to get the interrupt. The CC comes in onto Nugget, but he's able to survive, and Nugget comes in with the dunk into the charm, misses out the next dunk. Vigo slides in, and Lucent are just slammed.
That was a slaughter. Plain and simple a slaughter. What an encore from Fred Spaghetti.
Oh, what an encore.
And Nugget not able to get the resets on this instance, but I think Guarp are sailing home with a W tonight, and they're going to be looking forward probably already to their final game of the split. It's London United as well, who, given the fact that London United are actually stepping up a little bit in most recent weeks, looking a little bit stronger, could give us a very interesting matchup here, as that was a really well played attempt at a re-engage from Dandom there after he gets hooked in, but unfortunately just not enough. No follow-up damage immediately comes onto Lil Pants as Nugget had the ability to try and recast for an ultimate, so no real threat of resets there, but come out of this replay and Fuyu has flash, getting jumped onto.
Yeah, maybe looking to turn it around as Drunken Messi gets pinned in place. Nugget tries to get the stun off, is able to do so as Nugget and Drunken Messi able to get away. But now Nugget's in for a whole world of hurt. He's pinned in place. He doesn't have the escapes available, but he's swimming. He's locked down, shut down by Dandom. And Guarp maybe biting off a little bit too much there.
Overstep at the very least. Guarp could find Dandom. Vigo Mopsen not going to commit too heavily there. You can see Lucent just trying to slip into the jungle as best they can. Get in position to try and deny away the soul. But honestly, if I was them, I would give the soul over. Personally, it's a Cloud Soul.
Yeah.
Spawn in Elder. Turn the game into a flip.
Dan just stole the red.
Yeah,
Gets the ult off as well, but Vigo's still here.
Dead, probably. Oh.
Vigo gets a big heal off there, able to hold up for a little while. And actually, no, DBL turns it back around. DBL flashes away. The encore goes wide, and Drunken Messi is coming in for the kill. Easy pickup, and Guarp. That's probably just going to be soul for them.
Yep. That's a Cloud Soul, though. It's just a Cloud Soul, Jake.
But it means an earlier Elder.
Yes. Okay. Right. Lucent, you have one job. And it's not to grief for the... Okay.
Someone please clip that. Yeah. Someone please clip that. I've never seen such a fatal caster curse in my life.
I just... Oh, man. This has been a day. You know?
Oh, it has been a day. I'm going paddleboarding this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Neither.
Oh. Yeah. Sounds lovely, though.
It does sound quite nice. Anyway, back to League of Legends. That's how this game's going, by the way. Guarp are genuinely playing really, really well over Lucent. And with the caster curse coming in and the Baron buff also going down, Lucent, I feel like, unfortunately, kind of out of options now. They have scaling options. Yes, you've got the Rise, you've got the Sivir, but the tempo right now, and if it continues on this kind of trend, I don't think Lucent are going to get themselves into this game where they're actually able to contest versus Guarp.
And I think you just simply have to look at the items, really, to get a grips of how far behind Lucent actually are. I think a lot of the time, people overestimate or on occasion underestimate the value of a gold lead or deficit. But I think the more accurate measure is just simply looking at the inventory and going, okay, who has more completed items? And then there's a couple of more nuances to it, obviously. But right now, right here in this moment, top to bottom, Guarp just have item advantages everywhere. And there's not really much Lucent can do about it other than try and hit their champion's own strong points, right? Fuyu has to be approaching that Infinity Edge relatively soon. Actually, could we flip over to the gold just to get a rough look? Because he's got to be around a couple hundred away. Yeah, there you go. So he's about 250 away. So 2 more waves, 3 more waves. Definitely by the time a Baron spawns up, they'll have enough time.
Oh.
Rise is just...
Kurosh just... Yeah, but he didn't... He tried to herald the minions forward, and he only heralded one.
I didn't want to mention it, but...
Yeah, I did. Kurosh is having a game right now. He's been pretty effective as a side lane threat, though. I'll give him that. He's done a very good job of that. Unfortunately for him, Vigo's in the area, and as he learned last time, the last thing he wants to do is grief it, and Kurosh actually able to get the flash away. Vigo didn't commit anything there, so now the re-engage is a very real threat.
I was about to have I was about to have a moment if Kurosh got picked off there. I just saw the flea map. He walked so close to him as well. My God. Exhale, Adrian, exhale. You're almost through. That's okay.
Unhealthy kebabs will wait.
I don't know why this game has tilted me so much, to be honest with you.
I can tell you why. The Herald.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there it is. This is what happens when players don't show up on time and then someone forgets to pick the Herald up. Your casters break.
Nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare fuel indeed. But, you know, we're here. We're still going. Lucent are limping along, but they're not out of this game. For you, level 16, 350 CS, 3 items, and maybe 30 seconds in the death timer if he gets caught, but he's able to just about slip around the edge. But Drunken Messi does spot him out, and now they're going to chase in. Galen's coming down the flank. They're forced to teleport out nice and early here, and Guarp probably okay just to kind of take that and walk away with that as the win. You get the beat drop off onto Little Pants, but not going to get any further. Vigo still got both his summoner spells, so there is an option for him to Find a really, really big opening here with Baron now spawning up. Guarp are set up to try and take this as that's Dandem jumping in, and Dandem getting himself dunks down as Nugget. Not going to get the kill, but he finds the reset. Everybody else going very, very low. Vigo incredibly quick with a ghost, finds the interrupt off, and Kurosh is interrupted away from the escape. Drunken Messi going low himself as the charm does come down onto one. DBL is bleeding down, and Vigo finds him. The reset after reset coming in. Kurosh will find himself going down as well. It's just like that. The ace for Guarp. Up goes the Zac, and the Frogs are looking one step closer to taking themselves into the playoffs. It has been an amazing turnaround for them. This split and this game has been... It's been a game of League of Legends, Jamada, but it looks like Lucent are out of options, out of time, as Dandem will go down for a 7th time this game. 22-3. It has been a slaughter from Guarp.
That was a smacking. An absolute beatdown. Words I can't say on broadcast. That was as one-sided of the game I think that anybody could have predicted.
Yeah.
And I think it just came immediately from the draft. As soon as you see Guarp come out with a draft like that, it's very simple. It's not really winnable for the enemy team because Guarp are the playoffs, you know. I'm not going to say speed run, but a late run, perhaps.
Late run is it? Yeah.
And I again, they've been heralded a lot. Oh, God.
We're going to go to a break. We're going to see you after this break, and we'll have our interviews. See you in a moment.